Hi, welcome to Bruce's Garage. I'm Bruce, and this is my garage. Today I'm tackling a trim restoration on this 2016 Jeep Wrangler. Now, it's not in too bad a shape given its age and the fact that it is stored outdoors, but the trim's looking a little bit faded. We're starting to see a little bit of tiger striping, and I want to curtail that and prevent it from getting worse. So we're going to learn how to restore this trim to keep it looking great. So come on in the garage and let's have some fun. Well, if you have a vehicle that has a lot of black trim, you know just how hard it is to keep that trim looking good, particularly as your car gets older. Well, that was before DIY, Restore, and Protect. This stuff has really worked well. I've used it the first time on another Jeep that actually looked a lot worse than this one does. And so it worked beautifully in that vehicle. And I want to show you again on this one, not as much, there's a little bit of restoration and we're going to get it looking much better, but it's really also about maintaining the appearance so that as this vehicle ages and it is kept outdoors, that it doesn't continue to fade or really look worse. So Restore and Protect is a great product. Now, here's what I'm going to do in order to get ready to install this. So we've already washed the vehicle, made sure that trim was nice and clean. You can use an all-purpose cleaner if you want on there. You can actually use even the gold standard polish. If there's a lot of that white kind of deterioration on the plastic, you can polish to get some of that off. That will help this work. I didn't have to do that in this case. So the only thing I've done is I've done a full decontamination wash. I've also used iron remover and a clay bar on the entire vehicle, including the trim, because I'm also going to be ceramic coating the vehicle. Now, Restore and Protect has a couple key points or advantages to it. Number one is it has black dye in it. So that's pretty cool. And there's other products out on the market like Solution Finish that also work really well. However, there's a difference with the DIY product, and that it has ceramic built in. So not only are you getting the advantages of the black dye and making that trim restored and look more rich, but you've got the ceramic that's going to hopefully maintain and protect that surface. The next step is we will panel prep. So we use DIY Detail Panel Prep. And basically we'll just spray that on microfiber and then wipe over the trim that we're going to restore and protect. And then once we're ready to apply, we use really some small little scrap microfiber. Now, I didn't have any scrap microfiber. What I did was I took some of my Rip and Rag from the rag company and I just cut it into small squares. When I first did this on that other Jeep, I didn't do this. And I used just a regular microfiber, the Rip and Rag, but I used the whole one. And I found that I used a lot more of this product than was necessary. So when you use a really small applicator like this little microfiber scrap, this goes a lot further. And you'll see that as we install it on the vehicle. The last thing is once we install it, we just let it kind of sit there for about a minute and then we wipe with another scrap microfiber. The reason we're using scrap microfiber is the microfiber is going to turn black and we're just going to want to get rid of that rather than try to clean that up. The only other piece of equipment you need are gloves. You don't want ceramic and you don't want black dye on your hands. So the equipment we need, we've already cleaned the vehicle, is Restore and Protect, gloves, panel prep, and our microfiber scraps. So let's get started and install this trim and protect. So we're spraying panel prep just on the microfiber towel and then just wiping over the trim surface. Make sure it's nice and clean, no oils, nothing that's going to impair the coating from bonding with the surface. So you have the bottle, make sure you shake it up pretty darn good because again, it has the graphene. It also has the black dye. You want to make sure all the ingredients are mixed together well. And we can take our scrap microfiber and we're really just going to put 3 or 4 small drops. You can see it's black. Again, that's that black dye. Then we can start applying on the surface. If you happen to get this on the vehicle paint, don't panic. Just wipe it off. I would not let it dry. And we've got some area in here on the fender here that's really hard to get to, and I'll show you what we'll do with that. I'm going to take a small applicator and apply it there. I'm going to put a little bit more on here. This is very simple to apply. And actually, this microfiber towel, just wrapping it up, I can probably get in here without using a small applicator. Make sure you get a nice, just even coat. You can see that's starting to look really pretty darn good right now. All right, essentially now I want to take my microfiber and really just level the coating. So I'm just going over this to level it. That's really removing any excess that's on here and make it smoothed out and look even. And you can see that some of this is coming off, and that's fine. But we've done up to about here. I'll show you a close-up of that so you can begin to see some of the difference. All right, so we've gone up to this point. I'm going to do the rest of this section here now. And again, you can do the whole fender at one time. I'm going just a little bit slower so that we can video this for you. I've put a little bit more on this applicator and I have done way too much. You see how I can just roll up this applicator and get right in these really tight spots. The nice thing about this restoration process is it's very easy to see in terms of if you've not covered an area well. And you get pretty much an instant gratification. You can level again with our microfiber towel. This is again just evening out the coating. All right, I'm going to let that dry just a little bit, take a look, see if I missed any spots, and then we'll keep moving along. One of the tougher areas on the Jeep are these hood latches. And you can see these are pretty well looking kind of grungy. So they look a little bit old and not as rich black as this newly restored trim here. So we're going to go ahead and restore this. Now, again, we could use our small little patch of microfiber, but I've got a couple other applicators that I'm going to try. So this is a little, actually they're dental swabs, and I use this a lot for coatings in tight places. I think this might work really well, but I also have these little small microfiber applicators that might also work well. So we'll try and see which one works better. By the way, I do have links to all the products in the video description below, and none of this is sponsored. None of this was provided to me free of charge. I purchased everything that you're seeing in this video. So let's go ahead and we'll try this little dental applicator first. All right, so we have some applied to the applicator, and I'm now going to go over this surface. And I probably have way too much on here because this applicator absorbs quite a bit. But it's great for getting in these really tight spaces. And this is one of those little details that to me makes a vehicle look so much better when it's done. Sometimes owners won't be able to pinpoint exactly what looks different, but they'll immediately see that the vehicle looks so much better. Now, by the way, I am noticing that I'm getting some of this trim coating on the paint here that's splashed. So I'm going to have to clean that up. The other thing I've noticed with these applicators is while they do hold the coating, they don't last really long, but they're not expensive. So you may have to just reapply or even use another applicator. But honestly, for getting into really tight spaces, I think these things work really, really well. I want to get every little bit out of this applicator or the coating that I have on here as I can. But it looks like I'm going to need to go ahead and try to clean that up a little bit. So this comes right off the paint. Again, I would not let this dry, but as it's on here, it will come right off. All right, let's go ahead and just level this now. And I can see some spots I've missed. Again, this is all part of the process. Not a big deal if you miss some spots. You just go back and add some more. I'm hoping you can see, and I will show you a side by side how much better this looks. But I am going to touch up some of these spots I missed. And again, I'm going to try this other little applicator, this microfiber, and again, see how that goes. And you really do see every little spot you miss because this was just, it was looking really almost grayish white and not a rich black. So that's kind of helpful because it's so easy to see. But then your attention to detail becomes heavily focused here on trying to get every little spot, but you kind of have to. Another area on these Jeeps that often gets a little bit tarnished from weather are these door handles. And you can see that in this case, these are not looking really as nice as the fenders did. So we're going to go ahead and use Restore and Protect on this as well. Again, same process. I'm going to use the small microfiber towel and then I'm going to apply across the surface here. These again are just another set of details that really make a difference when you look at the overall appearance of the vehicle. Getting in these tight spots, can be a little bit more challenging, but it's really well worth it. And the instant gratification is also worth it. You can fold your microfiber to get in these really tough areas. Or if you'd like, you could use one of those other applicators as I showed you earlier. Get anything you get on the paint, you can just wipe right off. Now this coating absorbs deep into the plastic, so you want to allow it to get in there and absorb. Our wipe that we're doing at the end is really just that level, just to smooth things out, make sure there's no streaks. If you find streaks, you can go over it again a little bit to even it out if you need to do that. Again, I'm just wiping this, just quick level, and that's it. Well, what do you think of this trim restoration? I think it looks pretty good myself. I was pretty impressed again with Restore and Protect by DIY Detail. I think it does really, really good on nice black trim, particularly cars that have a lot of black trim like this Jeep. So we did the handles for each of the doors. We did each of the fenders. There were some details on the front bumper, the back bumper that I also protected, as well as the mirrors. So again, it's an easy way to either restore the trim that is looking kind of chalky, or protecting to prevent future issues with the trim, because the trim and the Restore and Protect has both ceramic coating as well as the black dye. So it's a fantastic way to protect those black trim areas. Now is a great time to buy it, by the way, because you can get 25% off at DIY Detail or at the House of Rags. I have links in the description. Again, this is not a sponsored video, but I certainly appreciate if you use any of those affiliate links. It helps me keep the channel going and buying more product and equipment to bring you the best kind of production that I can do. So I appreciate you coming into the garage today. I hope you see how easy this is. Go out and just have fun detailing in your garage and make your trim look great. Have a great day.